Hi, welcome back to Be With Love. All right, so I wanted to go into the full moon because the full moon is a full moon eclipse. Full moon eclipse. So, and then I have two articles that I am going to put it in the description box. The links will be in the description box. It's the full moon calendar 2022. Well, I'm gonna do this one. The bustle is from Bustle. The spiritual meaning of the May 2022 full flower moon lunar eclipse. Why they call it the full flower is because it's in the month of May. I'm in my new setup. I got a little backdrop going. Let's see. So it's supposed to be the star, the all-seeing eye right there. But it's the star. So I'm gonna go straight into the article. There's no timestamps on there or anything. It was written by Nina Khan on May 9th of 2022. So I was trying not to go into the full moon articles because we're going through Mercury retrograde. So everyone's talking about Mercury retrograde, like, oh my God. But the full moon is on the 15th/16th, So I'm gonna just go in. The eclipse season isn't always a walk in the park. These rough and tumble cosmic periods have a tendency to bring about sudden realizations and massive shifts in our lives. The May 2022 full moon lunar eclipse on May 15th / May 16th is certainly no exception. It's the beginning. No, it will be bringing our emotions to a climax and purging away anything that we need to leave behind. Whether we feel ready or not, it's gonna go. Also nicknamed the flower moon. The spiritual meaning of May's lunar climax reminds that going from seed to bloom requires a full transformation, and that kind of rebirth isn't always easy. So I wanted to talk about that, and it's also Mercury retrograde at the same time. So, and then the moon is closing out cycles. Things that were from the past is gonna be eliminated. Eliminated. It's gonna be taken out of your life. So a lot of things are gonna be closed out. You're gonna be moving forward. Everything's gonna get better. And then from there, Mercury retrograde, you have all these glitches, you're gonna have technical difficulties, miscommunications. So it's like everything is just gonna be heightened. It's gonna be heightened. It's gonna be crazy. But just pay attention, stay calm, be aware that we can have problems with communications. We can have problems with your phone, with your texts, with your emails, with everything. Any kind of form of communication, it can be a problem. But let me go back to the article. Full moons mark the illuminated point of the monthly lunar cycle, and they're known for bringing a surge of energy, tensions, and heightened emotions because May's full moon is also a lunar eclipse. Its climatic power will likely feel even more intense than usual. Lunar eclipses in astrology are associated with rapid growth spurts, major changes, and surprising revelations. That means secrets are gonna come out. A lot of secrets. People doing shit. Like everything's gonna come out during this time. The full moon is gonna close out all the mess that has been happening, all these secrets that have been kept hidden. Everything is gonna come out. And Mercury retrograde is here also, so be mindful of that. The full moon and Mercury retrograde is here, so it's gonna be intense. The time, this is all spiritual talk. It's like the moons, the planets, everything. It's gonna be a shift, and you're gonna feel it. You won't know why you're feeling this way. You won't understand it, but it's because of the planets. It's the astrology. It's the moon. The moon makes people crazy sometimes. Lunar eclipses, yeah, growth spurts, major changes, and surprising revelations. A lot of things are gonna come out. A lot of truths are gonna come out. because this fierce illumination, because it lights up everything and everything is going to come out, is peaking in the transformative sign of Scorpio. Oh my God, I'm a Scorpio, but I don't like secrets. I let everything out. The spiritual meaning of the May 2022 full moon lunar eclipse is about facing the truths that lie beneath the surface of our lives, and thus allowing our true selves to come into full bloom. Getting aligned with any full moon's energy can help to ground us, prepare us for what's to come, but this is even more important when navigating the twists and turns of the eclipse season. So here's the scoop of the May 2022 full moon lunar eclipse spiritual meaning. So I'm going to go into what's the spiritual meaning of the flower moon. They call that the flower moon because it's in May. In the May, you start off as a seed and then you bloom, you come full bloom, like, you know, a flower moon. So it's like all these secrets, all these things that have been kept hidden, because a lot of people lie. People just lie, and it's like, ooh, my light. People just lie, and then it's like we're just kept in the dark for so long. But this full moon is it's gonna bring to light all the things that have been kept hidden. It's gonna all come out. All the secrets gonna come out. You can't run from it. You can't hide it. All the things that have been kept in the dark will be brought to light. Back to what's the spiritual meaning of the flower moon, because that's what this moon is called, because it's in May, the flower moon. According to the Farmer's Almanac, I didn't use the Farmer's Almanac here because I wanted the spiritual meaning. I wanted to go into the spiritual meaning of the full moon. The flower moon is its traditional nickname given to full moons that take place in May. So because it's in May, you know, April, spring, and everything comes into bloom in May, everything comes out. The floral moniker hails from the fact that May marks the height of spring in the northern hemisphere. And during this time of year, an abundance of flowers are in full bloom. Other common nicknames for this lunar includes the budding moon or the planting moon, because that's when you plant. It's like April, showers. It's just a beautiful time. So the flowers, everything comes out, the flowers bloom, and it's a beautiful time. So they call it the flower moon. The full moon in May is called the flower moon, and that's the traditional nickname. I didn't know that, but okay. The budding moon, we call it the budding moon. That's like the roses, they're still in the bud, you know, they didn't bloom yet. Or the planting moon, because that's when you're planting your seeds and you're waiting for them to grow, and you know, all of which reference the rebirth or oriented energy of this time of year. Fittingly, the spiritual meaning of May's full moon lunar eclipse is also ripe with possibilities and budding with transformative growth. Things are gonna grow. They're gonna move forward. Things are gonna bloom. It's just a beautiful time. Summer is coming. I love the summer. The flower full moon is full of potential, but we have to remember that some flowers have thorns. This eclipse is taking place in the deep and powerful sign of Scorpio, which brings issues of power, control, and secrecy to the forefront and asks us to face the truth at the heart of it all. The meaning of this lunation is to look beyond the surface of our lives and get real with what's lurking in the shadows so we can finally bring it to the light. As a sign associated with transformation, Scorpio energy helps us purge our emotional baggage to make room for growth. Be ready to face your feelings and acknowledge the skeletons in your closet. So this is spiritual. It's about growing. It's about healing. And it's about evolving, becoming a better human being, because you can't become better if you don't want to acknowledge the past. You can't just bury the past. Like, you have to acknowledge it. You have to you have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. You can't hide it. You can't run from it. It's like you have to deal with it. You have to face it and handle it. Just handle it. and get past it and move forward. A lot of people can't move forward because they're still living in the past. They don't let it go. They don't face it. They're scared of it, and it's just making your life hard because you don't want to face reality. You don't want to deal with your problems. You don't want to solve your problems, and you don't want to move forward. Like, we want to move forward. Move forward. Let's go. But this is all, that's something you have to take time for yourself to grow, heal, and evolve, and just become a better human being. But that's another conversation. I'm talking about the full moon, the lunar eclipse that's in May 15th through the 16th, and we call it the flower moon because it's in May. The sun and moon will be aspecting many other planets, adding even more intensity and drama to the energy of the eclipse. But this kind of powerful growth will help us align us with our fate and prepare us for a new step in our journey. Additionally, we will be experiencing the fresh ingress of the lucky planet Jupiter into fiery Aries. Be spicy, right? At the same time of the full moon, Jupiter will be 0 degrees of Aries, aka the very first degree of the very first sign of the zodiac, a point that is bursting with the potential for fresh beginnings and exciting new journeys. With Mercury retrograde also in effect, we want to temper the zealous with some caution and thoughtfulness. But this cosmic cocktail can certainly help us to see the magic and motivation that lies ahead post eclipse. So it's like growing, healing, and evolving, just becoming a better human being, because the full moon is gonna bring to light all of the secrets, all the things. This article has a lot of stuff, and it goes into the full moon, but then it also goes into zodiac signs most affected by the full flower moon. I'm not gonna go into that. I just wanted to go into like the meaning of the full moon, because it's the full moon and it's called the flower moon this month because we are in May. So it's the flower moon. So the sun will be expecting how to work with the full flower moon's energy. Well, this is the second eclipse of the year. It's the first lunar eclipse, and it's part of the duo of lunations that compromises eclipse season, spring 2022. So it's a time to sit back and see what the universe has in store for you. Full moons are typically an auspicious time for release, rituals, or other manifestation practices. But during eclipses, it's best to hold off any magical moon ceremonies. Don't do any work. Don't do any work, because eclipses can be chaotic, as they often bring sudden change, rapid growth, and unexpected opportunities. So instead of trying to focus on your desires and intentions, open your heart to whatever life is attempting to offer you. Trust that what's shed during the lunar event is meant to be, and if making room for things are more aligned with your core. Just as we must rid our gardens of weeds in order to make room for flowers, this eclipse prompts us to purge our emotional baggage and face our inner truths so that something beautiful can blossom. Stay present through the shifts and be willing to feel your feelings. That's the end of the article. That's with the full moon. Like with the full moon, you always have to have good intentions. Like, don't do any negative work during a full moon, especially during this moon, because it's an eclipse moon. It's a full moon and it's a lunar eclipse also. It can be chaotic, it can be crazy. So it's like, you don't do work during this time. Don't do negative work against people. Like, if you're gonna do anything, do positive work, manifestations to better your life, make your life better. Prosperity, change. You want to be happy, you want to be successful, you want to be good, you don't want to have problems. So you don't manifest problems for other people. You focus on yourself and do good work, and good work will come to you, because this moon is very powerful. So it's, if you're doing any kind of bad work during this time, it is gonna backfire. It's gonna be chaotic. It's gonna be hell. It's gonna be hell for you. And it's no one else's fault but your own fault, because of the time, the planets, the way things are moving. You really have to take notice on that. The way the planets are, what's going on. It's in Scorpio, also going to be in Aries. It's going to affect you. This article also goes into what signs are going to be most affected by this lunar eclipse. I'm going to include the link in the article, so you can always check on the link if you want to look at your horoscope and see what's going on and how is the full moon going to affect you, because this is from May 15th and 16th. That's when the full moon is going on, and they call it the flower moon lunar eclipse. It's called the flower moon because it's happening in May. So spring, everything is coming in bloom. Summer's coming. So it's just a beautiful time. So thanks for listening. Always lead with love. Stay positive. Vibe high. Don't let nothing negative come your way. Vibe high. Stay positive and have a good day. Lead with love. Bye.